You know what I mean? So I invited people into my home. I invited people, into my personal life and share pretty much everything with the exception of a few things, of course, but I think people love that. Like, like they see themselves, oh, this is just a regular guy trying to make it happen for his family. And you know what? He's just going out there and hustling and making it happen.
Yeah, I noticed the other day, I happened to see you playing with truck tires, giant truck tire in your workout.
Yeah.
What would you, one of the things was interesting that you and I were talking earlier in the week, and you mentioned something that made total sense to me. I'd never heard it before. And this is it I think it's profound, and is that you're either creating content or you're consuming content.
I posted that.
Right. Okay. So I don't know. Did that just pop out of your head when we were talking, or just and then and you posted it, or?
No. I posted that like a few weeks ago. A few people called me on that video, and they're like, "You're right. I consume content. I don't make it. I should be making content." But most of us are zoom into these things, and we're like, especially now with COVID, you have more time. They're consuming more content than ever.
Right. The thing is, which you and I were both talking about, it takes a lot of energy to create content.
It's a job in itself, David. And most people don't realize that. I'm posting from 5 a.m. in the morning when I wake up until midnight when I go home, when I'm ready to go to bed. So it's a lot, I love doing it. It's kind of like, I love it. It's my thing now. So it's not like I can't see myself without doing it. You know what I mean? So it became just a habit. Now it's just not, I do it so natural that, people that try to do it, they say, how do you do this every day, man? This is a lot of work. Hashtag and this and that. And don't get me wrong. I build a team. I have a great team. We have almost 12 employees right now overseas that manage my social media as well. And we manage other dealers. We manage other businesses. So a lot of business came out of it because of it. You know what I mean? So we can talk about that if you like.
Let me ask you this question, because as I mentioned before, our audience is car dealers.
Yeah.
Okay. So to a car dealer they're doing okay, but they're not standing out in the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In other words, unless it's someone that's dealt with them or they're right around the corner, they drive by them every day that they see, oh, that's, Joe Blow's Honda or whatever.
Yep.
What advice, because I think that's what they tune in for, is, well, how can they use it? How can they take what we're talking about, the lessons that we're expressing or hoping to express to them? How can they take that and put it into play in their own dealership?
Yeah.
So in speaking to them, what advice would you give them in standing out, making yourself known? Well, those are two big things right there. Let's start with that.
Yeah. So the first thing is get started, right? Whether you like social media or you don't like social media, it's okay. You don't have to like it. But I can tell you, social media is not going anywhere no time soon. Okay, so either you hire a company, right, that comes in and handles your social media for you and have that digital presence, because you know why? All your customers are on social media. Okay, bottom line, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Snapchat, TikTok, whatever you want to call it, right? Those young generations, I'm trying to figure out, how do I start advertising on TikTok? Because guess what? Those kids, right? My kids are eventually going to become adults and they're going to buy cars, right? So how do I start now to stop building it where they see me all the time, that I can become the car guy on TikTok as well, right? They might not buy cars right now, but it's an investment that I want to make. Now the content is going to be different for them because they're kids. You know what I'm saying? So it got to be funny, skits and stuff like that. But I think that most GMs are afraid of social media because they think they're the ones that got to do it. I might be the exception, right? And yeah, I like to be on camera and I like to grab people's attention because it works for me. And look, I've proven it already right? Look at Chevy. We took a store that's basically going under. It was for sale when I took over it. It was just me and my driver to show up here. And now we having record months. The store was never profitable since 2013. Because of my social media presence, those customers follow me. They didn't follow Brooklyn Mitsubishi. They want to buy from El Patronn, from the brand, right? So they don't care where are you, what brand you're at. They care what you stand for. They care about your process. They care about you doing the right thing for them and being there for them when they break down or whatever. So they trust our brand. So that's why, when I say something on social media, I do it. I told this guy I'm going to take his bike on trade. I post a video, say, here's your bike. Like, I'm taking it on trade, and show people that. You know how many calls I got because of that bike? Now I got people that call me, oh, I got an RV, I got this, I got that. But they want me to praise.
Hey, you'll take it, right?
Huh?
You'll take it.
Of course I'll take it. I'll send it to Florida. Big market for that right now.
Interesting. Last week I had Chad Burmeister on our show, and Chad deals with business to business, but he's into a lot of tech, and we were talking about some of the things that he's doing business to business that you could use, in a car dealership.
Correct.
And one of the things that he mentioned that I thought was a great idea, and you do it in certain ways also. It's two things. One, if you as the dealer don't want to be on like TV or on, you put your face, then pick somebody for you or hire somebody that can be the face of your dealership.
Yep.
The other thing that what Chad mentioned, I thought was a great idea, is that he said, what's to say, okay, because his example was this. He rented a car. He hadn't traveled in 6 months, travels a lot, but hadn't traveled because of COVID in like 6 months.
Right.
And he said he had, I think it was a Yukon. And he got out of the car and he's heading into the hotel. And all of a sudden he starts getting this chirping or buzzing or some kind of, noise. And it's telling him that he left his briefcase in the back seat.
Oh, wow.
Right. Some kind of new thing was on his car.
Yeah.
And so his idea was, which I thought was really good. He goes, do a 60 or 90 second thing and just say, hey, to your, either out to Facebook and to Instagram and all the different things, but also to your customers, the database of the dealership. Yep. And say, hey, folks, this is, Joe Blow from ABC dealership. And, just wanted to show you this really cool thing that I found in his car. And he goes, take it out there and show him what it is in 60 to 90 seconds. Yep. He goes, and then, you do that once a week or a couple times a week where you're finding something different or here's a tip that you can use. And you start to be on, on camera, right. People start to recognize that, hey, I like to talk to this guy.
Right.
And as you well know, more than most, that people who see you on all the different social media channels, when they actually come in, and a lot of them, I'm sure, ask for you.
Yes. Most of them. Yeah.
And part of it is that they already feel they already like you because they wouldn't have come in and asked for you, right? You've caught a chord on them, and they feel they can relate to you, right?
Yep.
And then the other thing is when they do get there, they feel that they already like you, but they know you, which, for those of you that are not doing this, that's half of it. That's half of it because it's about trust. If someone doesn't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Right.
And liking you. They got to like you too.
Right. They got to like you. Right. They got to like you and trust you.
Yes.
And so I think by some of the things that you're doing, you're creating, in other words, you can't go out and talk to all these people, right? And go knock on doors and go talk to thousands of people. You can't do it. Right. You got a business to run.
Right.
But by doing what you're doing, you're already creating I like you, I trust you. You've taken many walls down.
Yep.
Let's face it, people come into a dealership, they're scared to death of you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They'd rather go to the dentist and get a root canal, right?
That's right.
I mean, that's just the way that it is.
It's
even me, I've been in this business for decades. And, unless I know the dealer, that I'm looking for that vehicle, it's like, oh God, I got to go get another. I mean, and I'm in the business, right? I don't want to go through it, and I'm in it.
Yeah,
But when you can break those things down and they feel comfortable,
yeah.
I mean, you're halfway there.
You're halfway there.
You're halfway there, and because if you don't get that half, I don't care what you do, you're not going to get the other half.
No, you're not. It's
right?
an uphill battle. Yeah, it's true.
Let me ask you this from your.
Please go to part 3 for the conclusion of our interview with Rudy Treminio, El Patronn, on It's the Car Business.